In this video, I'm going to show you what it's like to discover the Cosmere for the very first time.
Hold on to your butts.
I'll go over 8 phases most new Cosmere readers experience, including their first standard launch, discovering who Hoyd is, and buying their very first leatherbound. To top it off, at the end of the video I'll show you just how crazy deep this rabbit hole actually goes. And by rabbit hole, I mean the Cosmere lore, of course.
It's all coming together.
Now, phase 1 is when you get your first Cosmere book.
Never forget you first.
Okay, this looks like it could be fun.
3 hours later.
Phase 2 is when you realize how many books are actually in the Cosmere. Phase 3 is the first time you read a Sanderland. Man, I wonder how Sanderson's gonna wrap this all up. Oh hey, you're Brandon Sanderson. I overheard you asking about how the book was gonna end, so I figured I'd give you the Sanderland experience. Wait a minute, what's a Sanderland? Oh, you'll find out. So for this book, Dalinar and Sadeas go to the Shattered Plains and begin fighting the Parshendi as a team. Dalinar's been trying to unite the High Princes the entire book. Sounds like he's finally making some progress. Yeah! So then Sadeas betrays Dalinar by leaving him trapped on the plateau with no way to escape. Then, during all the commotion, Kaladin and his crew have a chance to escape, and then he decides that he's gonna go back and save Dalinar instead because he's a good person. Ooh. As they get close to the chasm, the Parshendi shoot a massive volley of arrows at the crew while they're all exposed. Oh no. Oh yes, but Kaladin puts all his Stormlight into his shield and it reroutes all the arrows so they crash into him. So, if he's out of Stormlight, he must be pretty tired now, right? Oh yeah, he uses the last bit of energy he has left to pick up a spear and runs towards the bridge and leaps off of it towards the waiting Parshendi. Oh wow. Then in midair, he breathes in all the Stormlight from the gemstones that's woven into the Parshendi's beards. This couldn't be any cooler. And then he says, the second ideal of the Knights Radiant.
I will protect those who cannot protect themselves.
Storms, what a climax. So when they get back, Dalinar decides to trade a Shardblade Oathbringer to Sadeas in exchange for the lives of all the Bridgemen being spared, since they technically disobeyed Sadeas by helping Dalinar. Sadeas accepts the trade, and the Bridgemen agree to begin working for Dalinar. That's just insane. I gotta hand it to you. That was one of the most mind-blowing sequences of events ever. This book is really gonna get a lot of love. But I'm not finished. Oh. Yeah, so Shallan can now soulcast without a soulcaster. Wait, how can she do that? And she has a Shardblade. Wait, how did she get that? And Yazan tells her that all the Parshendi are actually the Voidbringers of ancient myth, and they're here to destroy humankind. Man, you are leaving it on a cliffhanger. The Almighty is dead. Wait, what? Oh yeah, the Almighty God? Yeah, he's dead. Another god named Odium has killed him, and he's coming to destroy the world. Wow, well I guess you've given the readers plenty to think about before the next book comes out. Also, Taravangian is actually evil and sending Zeth to kill Dalinar now. Also, one of the ancient heralds showed up warning that humanity needs to prepare or it's going to be destroyed. Phase 4 is when you first discover the copper mine. What's this copper mine? And honestly, that's just the tip of the iceberg. This rabbit hole goes so much deeper. Okay, now phase 5 is gonna be how you first discovered Hoyd. Now, most people are gonna say they discovered him like this. Okay, so this character's name is Hoyd, and here Wit says you can call me Hoyd. But in reality, they actually discovered him like this. So, what do you think of Hoyd? Wait, who's Hoyd? So Hoyd is a world hopper that is in all of Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere books. He's actually best known for being Wit in The Way of Kings. No way, Wit's my favorite character. Of course he is. Okay, so phase 6 is when you start to realize that Brandon Sanderson actually recycles and reuses some of his story beats. One of those points that's pretty easy to catch is that the people in Brandon Sanderson's books typically grab onto a group of people and worship them as gods. The shards and the vessels are the most obvious ones, but you also have the Returned in Warbreaker, the Elantrians in Elantris, the Heralds in Stormlight, and the Survivor himself in Mistborn. Another one that most people don't catch right away is that Brandon Sanderson loves his love triangles between two siblings and a love interest. You've got Dalinar and Gablar, who both fall in love with Navani. You've got Kelsier and Marsh, who both love Mare. You have Elend and Zane, who both love Vin. You have Steris and Marcy, who both love Wax. Marcy more had a crush on him, but it's close enough. This last one is actually the biggest stretch with Ciri and Vivienne and Suzbran, since technically Vivienne never loved Suzbran, but she was engaged to be married to him. And speaking of marriage, Sanderson also likes to arrange marriages between two people who've never actually met. You've got Ciri, who had to go to Hallandren to marry Suzbran. When we first meet Serene, she's traveling overseas to marry Raoden. And Navani also arranges a marriage between Shallan and Adolin without either of them meeting. In all these examples, none of these people had ever met, but they did end up getting married happily. Now, the Sanderson trope that's probably the easiest to spot is going to be the fact that he likes to take his hero and drag them through hell and back before he allows them to have any kind of relief. You have Raoden, who was forced to live as a fallen Elantrian where all of his pain just compounded on top of each other until he was eventually overtaken by all his pain. Then you have Kelsier, who was forced to go to the pits of Hathsin and dig for adium. He had to crawl in his stomach underground past rotting bodies, and then he had to stick his arm into cavities in the ground to try to find a piece of adium, and when he pulled them back out, the rocks would rip at his arms and leave scars. If he didn't find a geode of adium every week, he'd be executed. Then you have Kaladin, who already had a pretty traumatic childhood. When he and his brother joined the army, his brother quickly died. His commanding officer then betrayed him and sold him into slavery. He ended up in the bridge crews running bridges all day without weapons or armor as enemy soldiers tried to shoot him down. It's later revealed that the primary purpose of the bridgemen was to draw fire away from the main army. His entire purpose was to die. Okay, now, phase 7 is when you first finish the Cosmere and you're waiting for the next book to come out. Okay guys, so I just placed my first pre-order for the Lost Metal.
5 minutes later.
I need more Cosmere. This book is 3 months away. I can try another book. I can read a different series, right? That's okay. Oh my gosh, it's only been a day. I can't wait this long. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Okay, so if adium's the Lost Metal, how is that gonna show up in the next book if it all got burned? I think I'm having withdrawals. Now phase 8 is what it's like to get your first leather bound. Oh my gosh, it's here. Gosh. Wow. The detail is just incredible. Oh my gosh. Legit, if my house was burning down, this would be what I'd grab. Dang, those books look awesome. Do you mind if I take a look? No! Now, for those of you who are still interested in going down that rabbit hole, you can learn more about the first planet in the Cosmere right here. Now, I put a lot of time into this video, so please, if you enjoyed it, leave a like. Now, onto the magic systems. At this point in time, we don't know if all the magic systems have been revealed by Brandon Sanderson, but what we do know is that the existing magic systems are fueled by the door, which is how individuals access